Hey all, Alex here from the Mad Cartographer, and welcome to what a mad week. Still no maps out yet. They're all loads of them have been made. We're just kind of trying to work out how we're gonna give them to you. Bit of a different theme this month because we're focusing on a lot more asset stuff and some towns and cities tiles. And so, because we're giving a lot of the PNGs away, we do appreciate that not everybody wants to build their own towns. They want some pre-made tiles. So we're currently in the throes of working out how to do that best. I think what we've now finally settled on is that we are going to have feature buildings and then rooftops around it, so you can use that particular building. I think that's what we're going to go down, so that there's still some modular elements to your tile sets if you want them. But looking at the Foundry content, this is what we've got at the moment. So we have, we've started making these pre-made scenes. So here we've got a little bakery that has been made, and I'm in the process of putting it all into token attacher and into levels, so you'll be able to have rooftop battles as well. Need to turn this into a basement, so we'll have multi-leveled stuff. We're also just going to do some straight token attacher. In the event that levels ever stops working, we don't want to break everything that we've done. If levels and token attacher stop working, we're going to have bigger problems anyway. So we're going to do a token attacher variant, which will just be one of the levels, one of the floors and the rooftop, and then the multi-level stuff, we will do a levels version as well. And what this essentially is going to be is we have got stuff like a pre-made tile here, which you will be able to just use. So this is our spa, and again, this is designed by Steffen. He's pretty much made all the maps so far this month. I am being the Foundry boyo, so a really nice big spa map. The thing we've got is that we have them in actors tokens. So for anybody that's seen our other stuff from our Urban Exteriors 2 or our Sire 1313 from Dreaded Mains 2, we have a variety of backgrounds. So we've got the entire building on a placeable asset, and you can just drag and drop it, pre-made buildings, and if you select it you can rotate it around. You can choose a different orientation. If you want your buildings to be squared on with each other, then that's something that you can do. If you want to have like a little bit more character to your buildings and put them on quirky angles, you know, making up your town, then you'll also be able to do that. Undoubtedly much to the frustration of your players, but that's on you, that's not on us. So what we've got, we are making these tiled versions of the maps, but we are also doing variations of the tiles, because we want this set to be useful for various settings. So, you know, we're going to have different backgrounds. At the moment this here is just a tile. It might not work because it's locked. Let me have a look. Bit of tile. Okay, there we go. So we've got different background textures that you'll be able to switch between. So we've got cobblestones, mud, and snow. When we've got the snow ones, not only do we have these placeable tiles, we also have placeable snow versions as well, with snowy rooftops and some additional snowy elements. And again, it's going to work exactly the same. You're going to go inside the building, and it's all easy to place, easy to move around. Once you find where it's always going to be roughly in the center now. With the Urban Exteriors, we had them in the top left, and they rotated on the corner. That's because of the size of the tile. We kind of cocked up a little bit with that. And with this, the tile rotating is going to be roughly in the middle of the building, so you should be able to find it even if you can't see it because of the canopy layer that we've got with better roofs. So not only do we have these versions, we also have blank versions as well. The blank versions will be available to all the things tier because they get access to blank assets and things like that. But essentially, it's going to be the same thing, but you can decide what you want to do with this building. And we're going to be doing this with all the buildings that we do. At the moment, I'm still kind of going through and smashing these into Foundry. Should be out tomorrow. Some of the multi-level stuff, I forgot how to do it since I did it in last month's theme with the lighthouse. So I'm having to kind of have a bit of a refresher course to remember how to do it. But I'll show you some of the tiles of some of the buildings that that Steffen has already made. So we can just delete these. So like I said, we've got snow versions and we've got normal versions of everything. And we've got, let's have a look. We've got a bakery, which you've just seen. We've got the stables. So the stables has some different versions. We've got the snow version, then we've got the normal version, but it is also going to have let's see, it should place around about there, I think. There you go. So it's also going to have this upper level where you can go up and down between these two with the multi-levels, with the levels module. And then again, we have either snowy rooftop assets or the normal roof tiles. And remember, if you haven't seen it already, and we're doing our tile editor, you'll be able to make your own buildings. You'll be able to make your own tiles with our map editor. Drag and drop loads of our different assets. We're going to make a point of trying to get more of our assets out this month. So there's a lot that's being made at the moment, which is why everything hasn't come out straight away. But yeah, you'll be able to kind of make your own buildings, and we're going to be providing blanks for everything so that you can build up your own 10 towns, you can build up your own Barovia, you can do whatever you want. And this is going to be, I think, an ongoing production really, because there's just too much to do all in one go. Every time we do a new theme, there'll be new assets that can be put into the editors, but in terms of adding more stuff that is specifically for towns and cities, that's something that we will keep adding to, because we want this to be, you know, just an amazing editor and like the most useful thing that you can get from us. So we've also got, let's have a look. We've got our Blacksmith currently. Again, I'll not show you the winter and both versions, but we've got the winter version and we've got the normal version, and again got these cool rooftops that will just fit on top or that. We've got let's delete all these. Not gonna look that yet. We've got some housing, and again this is just a little quick and easy one, poor person's house. And then we've also got a middle class house as well. So again, this is a 2-story one. So this is going to be bottom floor, and then that's going to lead up to a second bedroom area. And again, we've got the different assets for it. So we had a little not a poll, but a discussion on our Discord asking for people's feedback, and we got so many great ideas. So we are trying to go through as many of them as possible. At the moment, I'm not able to make maps because I'm making something else at the moment that we will be announcing, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. We'll be announcing it this month, and it is our second Patreon that we're going to be starting up. Some of you might be aware that we are going to be doing sci-fi maps at some point with the Mad Astrographer. That is going to be our third Patreon. So I'm currently working on Patreon number 2, but Steffen has got you guys covered to make sure that you get all your content this month. So yeah, so far we've got 6 houses, one of them like a really big tile building. We've got loads of different backgrounds. We've got the map editor that's being made. We've got loads of blanks. We've got basements as well that are going to be empty basements, so you can put them under. You know, if you, we'll try and guide you guys for using levels for anybody that does want to make their own stuff. But the basements are essentially going to be drag and drop anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. They're going to be prefab buildings that you can drop in. As well as that, I'm going to pause the video just to see what it looks like when it loads up. We have a new adventure that we're going to be releasing for all the things today. It is a Foundry only adventure. It was one of the ones, it's the last one that we've got from the DM Lair. We're no longer making maps with, making adventures with the DM Lair. They've decided that they are wanting to do a Kickstarter with their content that is going to go into Lair magazine, and so that kind of had some issues with our licensing and going into their Kickstarter. So myself and Luke kind of had a discussion about it, couldn't quite settle on anything that we were both happy with, so we are going to be, we've parted ways. Wish them the best of luck. I think Luke's content is great, and I wish their Kickstarter all the best when it happens in January. But anyway, this is the last adventure that we did with them and the last map, so I'm going to restart this because the announcement I was going to make is that all our Foundry adventures now use Scene Packer, but then I realised that this actually hasn't been put into Scene Packer yet, so it will be when it's available. So Scene Packer will automatically add all the monsters that directly link to the stat blocks and everything. At the moment we've got it that when you import an adventure in the scene, you're having to kind of connect everything yourselves, because by default Foundry doesn't save it. But with the Scene Packer module, it allows us to curate your compendium a little bit better. So this is the Wretched Cavern, and it's a pretty cool map. It's a pretty large map, but it's got some interesting environments in it. And I think it's one of those maps that even if you're even if you're not massively into the adventure for whatever reason, that's interesting. I've not put a door on there. Good job I checked. It's one of those quite versatile maps that you could use for a variety of other things, realistically. We've got secret hidden door there that will take you up here. I've not done this in multi-levels because this was designed way before we started doing the multi-level stuff. So stuff like going under the bridge and this, you know, even canopy system wasn't available when we'd made this map. So it's going to be a little bit more traditional and old school to what we're now doing. But other than that, it's a pretty cool map. And you can see inside all these areas because I've already been in them. I should have reset the darkness. Oh, my dog has come inside. He's coming to tell me that it's time to wrap this video up because I'm taking too long. And so there you go, guys. We have a lot of content. Looking over what Steffen's got planned, the other buildings that we're going to do, some of the other tile sets. It's going to be a pretty great theme this month. You have got the tippy taps. Sit down. Right behind my chair. Yeah, we've got some pretty great stuff that's going to be released. I think this is probably going to be one of, if not the best theme that we've done. I think you guys are going to get a lot of use out of it. But yeah, before we start throwing these maps up on my air bridge for you all to access, we need to start building a few tiles from what we've got available. Otherwise it's not going to be useful enough to some of the patrons outside of Foundry. As much as we are heavily into Foundry, and I consider myself a Foundry creator, not everybody uses it, and so, you know, we want to make sure that our content is accessible and usable by as many people as possible. So the tiles will kind of be coming, and they are modular tiles, so they're completely rotatable. The background that they are on, they're mirrored, so you can connect them and rotate them and them still be relatively seamless. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of different street assets and stuff to not just pad out your buildings, but pad out your entire scene as well. And like I said, we'll keep adding to that over time. We'll probably bounce it off you guys to see just exactly what other assets you think we need to keep rounding off that set. So there you go. That's everything that's going on. There is other stuff that's going on that is absolutely taking my time this first week of the month, but that is something that I will announce in some greater detail very, very soon. So thank you guys for watching. Any thoughts, any comments, any suggestions for buildings, then feel free to leave them in the comments below. Other than that, look after yourselves, and as ever, keep rolling those 20s, folks. Double peace.